Council meeting of November 10th, 2014. Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Colella.
Here.
Dixon.
Here.
Givens.
Here.
Hannon.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Mowry.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Pape. 8
We
present.
have 8 members present. This time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. I have a couple announcements. First, an executive session of council was held on Monday, October 27, 2014, discuss police personnel issues, and tonight, before we came out, November 10, 2014, to discuss police and personnel issues. At this time, we turn the reports to officials and the library director's report.
Good evening. My name is Christine, and I am the director of Your Public Library, where we provide services to inform, inspire, and enrich the community. And a few programs that I wanted to tell you about this evening. First of all is the Town Hall Speaker Series. On Wednesday, November 19th at 7 p.m., Rick Seaback will be at the Community Center to speak about his experiences making the documentary Celebrating Pittsburgh. This program is free and open to the public. No registration is necessary. Just come over to the Community Center. And this fall's Town Hall Speaker Series is sponsored by the Library and the Recreation Department, so hope to see you there. Just a reminder that the library has a myriad of computer classes, either small group instruction or one-on-one instruction. You can call and make an appointment. We have a book group for almost every taste. They meet in the morning, they meet in the afternoon, they meet in the evening. Some groups are so large that they're meeting down at Panera at the VIP room at South Park Shops. So if you're interested, can let us know and we'll hook you up with one of the groups. And in the Youth Services Department, there's a lot going on besides story time. We do have story time for birth through preschool age children, but we also have programs for elementary age students and also teenagers. A few things that are going on in the month of November are there's a 4-week program on pop-up cards. One of our staff members is very creative, and she's helping the kids make pop-up cards that you can use for to share at Christmas or for a birthday or anniversary. We also have a Readers Theater group that will be going around to some of the senior care facilities to perform. We have a Little Hands Art Club, and also, this is one of my favorites, the Mudagrees Club. This is a national initiative to raise awareness on shelter pets and how shelter pets make good pets for your house. So that's what's going on in youth services. A few things from fundraising. We hosted the first annual Night of Comedy last Saturday, November 1st. We had over 200 people in attendance. The event raised about $3,800, which will be split between the library and the recreation department. This was another joint venture between the two departments. Winter lottery raffle. We're selling tickets for $5 a piece. You get one number. We have 1,000 tickets. It's based on the daily 3-digit. So if your number hits any day or multiple days during the month of December, we will pay Monday through Saturday, I think it's $25, Sunday's $50, and there's 2 special days. January 1st is a $500 jackpot, and the 31st is $250. And as the holidays are coming up, I want to remind you, if you are shopping at Amazon, please go to www.smile.amazon.com and choose Public Library Association of Bethel Park. Any of your eligible purchases that you make from the Smile Amazon website, half of 1% gets donated back to the library. So I'm actually almost done Christmas shopping. And just one announcement, the library will close at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, November 26th, in preparation for Thanksgiving. We aren't ever busy, and a lot of my staff want to go home and get the turkey ready, so we do close at 5. And we will be closed on Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 27th, but we will be open Friday morning at 9 a.m. Again, not a traditionally busy day for us, but we will be there if you need us. And that is my report for this evening. Any questions?
Hearing none, thank you very much. Can we turn to the police chief's report and Chief Rogan?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Rogan, and a couple announcements I'd like to make on behalf of the police department. Again, applications are now available online or through our records department for our Citizens Police Academy, and also for if you're a high school student, our law enforcement apprenticeship program. Both of these classes are going to be beginning January 14th. And they're going to run 12 consecutive weeks. If you have any interest at all in learning about our police department, our Citizens Police Academy is a great place to join in and find out what we're all about. One of the things we're sponsoring again this year is our annual food drive. It's going to be from Monday, December 1st until Wednesday, December 17th. And if you're interested in helping in any capacity, you can contact our crime prevention office, and they will be glad to have your help. The food drive sorting and packing will take place on Wednesday, December 17th, and that's going to be at 8 a.m. at the Bethel Park Community Center. And at this time, I would like to make some presentations of plaques for people who have supported some of the police department programs that we've sponsored. And I'd like to, if they're in the audience, I'd like to have Ray Piacquedito from Pasta 2 come up. Ada Guggenauer from Walmart, if she is here. Ada. Mike Ackerman from the Pepsi Corporation. Okay, Mike. And Julia Roosh from Allstate Insurance. You're going to be last, Julia. Okay. Ray from Pasta 2 has helped with our Citizens Police Academy dinner, as well as supporting many, many other of the safety programs that we offer in our community. And Mr. Mayor, would you mind presenting Ray with his plaque of appreciation from the police department? Thank you for all of you that you've done, Ray. I really appreciate it. Ada Guggenauer works for Walmart, and they have provided funds for our Police Pal Steelers basketball game, our food drive, Adopt a Family, and many, many other Police Pal programs that we sponsor. They are really a valuable community partner for us, and they have sponsored 2 $2,500 grants this year to fund some of our projects that we offer through the police department. It's greatly appreciated, and Ada, thank you and Walmart very much for all that you do for us. Mike Ackerman. Hi, Mike. Okay. Pepsi Corporation has sponsored our Police Pals program, the Steeler Benefits basketball game over the last 5 years. And they have supplied all the drinks for our event, as well as many other department-sponsored events. And the support of all 3 of these businesses has been a great help for our police department. We've distributed over $15,000 worth of scholarships with the help of these vendors over the last 5 years. And it's programs that have helped to enhance the quality of life for residents in Bethel Park, and we're very grateful. And Mike, thank you, and Pepsi for all that you've done. Julia Roosh, am I saying that correctly? Yes, great job. Julia is with Allstate Insurance, and she's receiving a plaque representing Allstate Insurance because they have formed a safety partnership with the Bethel Park Police Department as well as the Mount Lebanon Police Department, and we've worked together on several projects. They've supported the Special Olympics softball game, raising over $11,000 for Special Olympics. The Joey Fabus softball tournament that we sponsored, which helped raise over $12,000 for the Fabus family. And they also assisted in the purchase of a state-of-the-art speed timing trailer valued at $18,000. And they have also provided a driving simulator, which we had up at our high school on Community Day. I think we had it on Community Day.
It was on October 3rd, the day Bethel Park played Mount Lebanon.
Okay. And that was really great because that helped anyone in our community, but especially the younger drivers, realize the dangers of distracted driving, texting, being on the phone. And that was a great tool, and we really appreciate you having that for us. So, Julia, we'd like to thank you and Allstate. We have a plaque for you to present from Mayor Allen.
Thank you very much.
And would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much. I won't be long, but I just wanted to thank you all. Allstate selected Bethel Park actually from looking across Pennsylvania and New England as the one community that we really wanted to be a bigger part of and play a bigger role in. And through our partnership with the police department, which we've been so grateful for the work of so many of your officers, especially Officer Tom Rigatti, we've been able to do great programming and hopefully work together to make things, not that there was a big safety need, but just safety is always a priority for everyone, and especially Allstate, the police department. So it's been fantastic, and just thank you very much.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. At this time, we turn to the fire chief's report.
Good evening. I'm Dave Gerber. I'm the fire chief here in Bethel Park. In the month of October, the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company ran 37 calls. 15 fire alarms, 7 CO alarms, 2 smoke investigations, 3 natural gas leaks, 3 mutual aid calls, 1 dumpster fire, an oven fire, a structure fire, 1 brush fire, 1 set of wires down. We assisted the medics with 1 call and 1 diesel spill, totaling 37 calls. Just to give you an idea of what it takes to run the fire department in a month beyond fire calls. In October, we spent 107 hours doing community service and public outreach, going to the schools and different events throughout the community. We spent 600 hours fundraising in the month of October. We spent 141 hours at meetings, 40 hours on vehicle maintenance, and 331 hours in training, totaling 1,218 hours, all free of cost. Nobody gets a paycheck or anything like that. So I think that says a lot for what our volunteers put in every month to help keep the fire department running. I'd like to make a special thanks to all the people who came and attended our Oktoberfest. The fire department held its first annual Oktoberfest on October 18th up at the community center. It came out not too bad. There was a lot of nice things up there. There was some card games you could play up there. There was some slot machines up there. They sold some strip tickets and things like that. All helping to try and raise money for the fire department. So anybody who came and attended that, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you next year and we'll make it bigger and better. Another fundraising event that we're working on, the fire department's selling calendars for the 2015 year. The calendar gives you a chance to win money every day of the year, all 365 days. Some days are a little more than others, and things along those lines. But if you're interested in buying one of the calendars, they're $25. You can purchase them at Bethel Park Printing down here on Brightwood Road. You can stop over at Evie's True Value Hardware over on Library Road and pick one up, or you can see any of the local firemen and buy one off of them. Everybody should have them. And we're spending some time down at South Park Shops on the weekends and the mornings trying to sell some of them down there also. So if you're interested, let us know. See your local firemen, and they'd be more than happy to hook you up with whatever you need. Last month, I mentioned about changing the batteries in your smoke detectors, and I want to apologize. I put out the wrong date, and let me tell you a little story about that. I believe I said it was October 26th is when we changed the clocks. It was actually, I think, November 4th. I apologize for that, but I will tell you, I looked that up on Google before we came here so I could write that down. And I actually took a picture of it with my iPad while I was getting everything together. And as I was leaving, my dad's text messaged me and saying, hey, you got the wrong date on that. So I'll apologize, and that goes to tell you, don't believe everything you see on the internet. So with that, I apologize, but hopefully everybody got their batteries and their smoke detectors and CO alarms changed to make everybody safe, because both of those items do help save lives every day throughout the country, making things safe. Last item on my list, believe it or not, it's getting to be this time. I couldn't believe when I was putting this together that I actually was going to talk about this tonight. But before I talk to everybody next month, a lot of people will be putting Christmas lights up and stuff around because it's getting close to Christmas time. Just real quick with Christmas lights, we ask that you make sure that you use lights that are rated for what you're using them for. If they're outdoor light, if you're putting them outdoors, make sure you buy outdoor lights. Make things safe. Make sure that they are marked with the underwriter's laboratory tag. There's a little tag on the wire that will say UL on it. You never want to plug more than 3 strands of lights in together. Always turn the lights out when you go to bed or you leave the house, and never use an indoor extension cord outdoors. That's very dangerous. So with that, like I said, it's getting to be that time of year. People will be putting the Christmas lights up soon before it starts snowing and getting nucky. Just be careful and be safe. We run a couple calls every year for some extension cords that are outside. They caught some leaves on fire, shorted out and made a mess. So just be careful and be smart before you have a problem and make things safe. With that, I believe that's all I have, unless anybody has questions. Okay.
Mr. Harrison?
No, I want to ask for the floor before the mayor.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The chief got away from me too fast. I found out the Valley Drive is closed at 88. The tunnel's closed. That's right, chief. And I found out from phone calls I got. I asked that that one of these affectionately called reverse 911, I forget the technical name anyway, be sent out. And a lot of people didn't get it. And by talking to them, I found out the reason they didn't get it because they've abandoned their landline, and it didn't occur to them that they have to provide the police department with their cell phone number. So I just thought and so a lady tonight called up very irate and went on and on. But anyway, that's the problem. So the people out there that rely on their cell phones, if they want to get messages that we send for any reason, they need to make sure the police department has the number they can be contacted. So the bottom line is, if you have a cell phone and you don't know if the police have that number, call them and tell them, and they'll put it in their inventory. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a good point, Mr. Harrison. Maybe we'll put in the December Chronicles outlining how you register if you don't have a landline, or if you have an unlisted number, you're going to have to call and have that also. We'll put an article in the December Chronicles. Thank you. We turn to the mayor's report. Mayor Allen, it's your turn.
Ready in the wings. I have a few items tonight. Before I start, I personally would like to thank Ada and Walmart. She let the American Legion use their store entrance on Saturday for Poppy Day. That's our main fundraiser that we have during the year. And I saw a lot of people I haven't seen for years, but I want to thank you personally for letting us use Walmart. First thing I want to mention is the tree lighting ceremony, December 3rd at the community center. That's a Wednesday. Starts at 7:15, and the tree lighting is at 7 o'clock. We'll have refreshments afterwards. It's an annual tradition, and we do pack the people in. The high school band will be there along with the vocal group, so I want to mention that.
Do you have any special guests coming?
Like
Not
Santa,
me.
like Santa
Outside
Claus?
you, Mayor.
Yeah, Mark's going to sing Christmas carols.
Okay, thank you.
Secondly, speaking of Christmas, we'll have our annual tree lighting, our house lighting contest again. And I'll have to check with Kathy. We'll have the details. We'll be on Channel 7 running along the bottom, let you know when we'll be judging. We may need more judges and so on. So we'll get to that. And last, or not last, but the next thing I have is tomorrow's Veterans Day. A lot of people aren't working that day, so if you have time, I'm going to be going to a retirement center. There's a lot of old veterans in retirement centers that could certainly use someone to talk to, and you don't have to say much because they will tell you everything about the service they were in, but if you can stop in, that'll definitely cheer them up. Okay, this month, the people that make Bethel Park a special place is the Bethel Women's Club. They started in 1941, right on the corner of Lytle and Brightwood Road. They sold their property a few years ago, and now they meet at Christ United Methodist Church. They raise money for projects including the Bethel Park Police Department, Police Pals, the Community Center, Meals on Wheels, Red Cross, and it goes on, and I'll mention to you some of the other things I may have missed. They also give college scholarships to seniors at our high school, and one of the things that is near and dear to our heart, Mark and myself and the rest of the Veterans Committee, is when we put the monument out there in 2000, they did a lot of work researching the names, the spelling, and so on. So for that, I personally thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Clara Baraka and the rest of the the Bethel Women's Club.
Hi, thanks, Jack. I'm Pat Griffith, and I'm the president of Bethel Women's Club. And as Jack said, since 1941, we've been supporting groups that help Bethel Park and the citizens of Bethel Park. We're going to continue to do that. We like doing it. It's a lot of fun. And I'd like to thank everybody for the award. Anybody else? No,
Mary. Well, we want to thank you for all the work that you've done in Bethel over the years. And just a certificate of recognition is presented to the Bethel Women's Club for your dedication to the Bethel Park community, awarded the 10th day of November 2014, signed by me. So thank you very much. Mr. President, that's my report.
Thank you very much, Mayor. At this time, I'd like to turn to the approval of the minutes, and Mr. Hannon.
First item is the regular meeting of October 13th, 2014. I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of October 13th, 2014.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of October 13th, 2014. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Mowry?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
Next item is the public hearing minutes of October 27th, the 2015 municipal budget. I move that we approve the minutes of the public hearing of October 27th, 2014, the 2015 municipal budget.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the minutes of the public hearing of October 27, 2014, the 2015 municipal budget. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Mowry?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
Next item is the public hearing minutes of October 27th, 2014, Cool Springs Golf Center redevelopment conditional use. I move that we approve the minutes of the public hearing of October 27th, 2014, Cool Springs Golf Center redevelopment conditional use.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the minutes of the public hearing of October 27, 2014, Cool Springs Golf Center redevelopment conditional use. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Hannon, would you, Mr. Spivey, please call the roll.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Mowry?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
8-0.
It's been a few months since I've been here. Yeah, motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
And next is a special meeting, Cool Springs Development Application. Move that we approve the minutes of the special meeting of October 27th, 2014, Cool Spring Development Application.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the minutes of the special meeting of October 27, 2014, Cool Spring Development Application. Any discussion of this item? Hearing none, Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Hannon,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Maury,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Colella,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
We have no other minutes.
Okay, at this time, we turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls, and Mr. Hannon.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls to the municipality per bill list number 111014 in the amount of $1,474,414.23.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 111014 in the amount of $1,474,414.23. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Harrison,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Maury,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Colella,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the resident comment section for non-agenda items. If you'd like to come up and state your name and address, we have a 3-minute limit. At the end of 2 minutes, you'll signify and would ask you to conclude your comments.
Yes. My name is Beverly Moot, and I reside at 5990 McPherson Avenue. It will be 5 weeks tomorrow since the house fire at 5985 McPherson Avenue. And while several people, including our councilman, Mr. Colella, and firefighter Ed Schmidt, have done what they can, we are still waiting for some sort of resolution to our situation. We have made and received numerous phone calls with the insurance companies representing both the fire department and the other homeowner. The fire department's agency sent an adjuster who estimated the damage at $9,000 before depreciation. This is an expense that we definitely had not planned on and certainly should not have to bear. Even those statements given by the fire department, and I'm quoting, confirm that the cause of the water intrusion was a result of water overflow from a fire tanker. They are not liable. We were told by the fire department's agency, however, that they are working with the other homeowner's agency to try to come to some sort of a settlement. Unfortunately, though, that cannot happen until a cause for the fire has been determined, which has yet to happen. We received a letter last week stating that they anticipate this to be by December 1st, at least another 3 weeks. I am here speaking to you tonight because there are a few things that I think you and the residents of Bethel Park should know if ever faced with a similar situation. 1, the fire department can cause damage to your home, property, or vehicle and yet may be immune from any liability. 2, a homeowner may not be covered by their own homeowner's insurance because, for some bizarre reason, they consider it to be a flood. 3, the injured party must give up many hours of their time and work through many, many phone calls, insurance companies, investigators, and adjusters who quite often are not even in this state, let alone in the Pittsburgh area. 4, when the time comes to sell your home, you must disclose any water damage, and you must present verification from a certified restoration company that the problem has been addressed. And lastly, 5 weeks is too long to have to wait for any help when you are living with the situation every day like we are. Having said that, I am here to ask for your help to provide some protection for all the homeowners of Bethel Park. Now that the residents have approved the dedicated tax for the fire department, I would like to suggest that some of that money be set aside for times such as this. Perhaps purchase a rider to the current policy that would cover any damage caused to others. The people of Bethel Park are dedicated to you. It would be nice to know that that dedication was reciprocated. As a footnote, I would like to reiterate a point that I tried to make at last month's meeting, and that is that all of this was totally preventable. In addition to Bethel Park, 5 other fire companies responded that day, which in Chief Gerber's own estimation made for at least 75 firefighters. The vast majority were standing in wait, watching the Bethel firefighters battle the blaze, ready to help when needed. Why didn't anyone help us? My husband told them more than once that water was flooding our yard and surrounding our home. He asked several times that something be done to divert the water flow, and only one man tried. Of course, working by himself, he was unsuccessful. Had other men offered their help too, rather than just watch, this all could have been avoided. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other residents who would like to speak? You can state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Pauletta Beeler. I live at 134 Meadowbrook Drive in Bethel Park. And I would like to address the study group for the change to the charter. 2 months ago, some information was presented at council that raised some issues for me. So I decided that I was going to come to the first meeting. I came over here, well, actually it was the day of the meeting, and I had checked down at the cable office where I was, and I said, somebody taping the meeting tonight, and they didn't know anything about it. They said nothing had been sent down to do it. And I said, well, it's a public meeting. Isn't it supposed to be taped? And it wasn't. And I thought, well, maybe I have it wrong. I came here, and I figured the public meeting would be here in council chambers. It was locked. Nobody was around. And I thought, well, maybe I got the wrong place. Maybe it's the community center. So I drove to the community center. Nobody was there. I did call the manager's office the next day and found out that some of the information I had was wrong. Some of the information was incomplete. That, in fact, there was a meeting in the executive chamber, I think it is, and it was at a different time than I was here. But I thought, okay, I'll catch it the next time. Then last month, the issues came up again. And there are things that, as a resident, I am very concerned about. There was some conduct that I found offensive, which I'm not going to address now. I did bring it up to a council member, and I assume that will be dealt with. But it sent a message, the whole thing to me, is that, okay, there's some sort of preconceived set rules or something that's going based on who's on the committee, which I'm not even sure, other than the fact that there's 5 council members, which is a majority. And that's kind of like, if they're writing their recommendation to council whether to make a change or not, it's kind of a stacked deck to me. There's some other issues that I have. I'm not well versed enough right now to make more specific questions. I would like to meet with or talk with, because you can change my mind. It's not that it's etched in stone here, but I as a resident, I would like to know more about it. I would like to know exactly, specifically, maybe have a written copy of the items that were mentioned during the council meetings. Would like to hear what's the impetus behind this. Looking at things so that I can look at the facts and draw my own interpretations, because right now they're not very good. It's, pardon the expression, but I kind of feel like the residents are being hijacked here. And I would ask that, perhaps those who are on the board, or on the committee rather, might be in touch with me, and I would be more than willing to sit down and discuss this, because I just need to know more. I need more information. And I do think it should be on televised. I really do. I think public meetings, not everybody's concerned. I'm not the best citizen in Bethel Park, trust me, and I don't always hear things, and I don't always feel that I need to address them. But I do think that having the meetings on the cable TV helps other residents who maybe don't get to come out in the evening to certain things, would have information to them, available to them, that isn't otherwise there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Harrison.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Beeler for bringing up the point that I made, that when they have 5 council members on that committee, the deck is stacked, and I think that's very bothersome. The other point that I've made before, and I'll just reiterate, is that such a committee is not needed, because the Home Rule Charter specifically outlines how to make changes to the Home Rule Charter, and in fact, that part of the charter has been used 4 times since its initiation. So it's a bunch of foolishness. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Yes, Mr. Mowry, thank you. Paulette, let me address a couple of things you mentioned directly. One, as you may know, I am the chairman of the committee that's been formed at the request of this council to look at the existing home rule charter. In that capacity, I apologize if you sought to come to our first meeting in October and weren't able to find us. We were meeting in the caucus room right back here, which is where our committees always meet. And that's where our meetings will be in the future, except when we hold public hearings. When we hold public hearings, which we are planning to do, they will be in this room. Our meetings are advertised. You can currently find them on the website. There is actually a link on the website for the Home Rule Study Committee. It has not only the dates and times and locations of each of the meetings, there is also a Q&A of the kinds of questions that people like yourself and other people in the community would likely have about the committee. Why was it formed? Who are the members of the committee? How are we going to proceed to take a look at the charter? And all of that is explained. But you are certainly, and anyone in Bethel Park is certainly welcome to attend any of the meetings. In fact, the entire intent behind the formation of this committee was to gather as much public input as we could. There are 5 members of council because 5 members of council expressed an interest in being involved and participating and coming to the meetings. But we have 6 members who are not members of council. They include some former council people. They include other people who are involved in the community, including our librarian, who's also a member. But the idea is to draw as many comments. We can, as a council, as Mr. Harrison indicated, just go off and adopt our own ordinance and propose changes to the charter. But we didn't want to do that in this case. This is intended to take a look at the entire charter after 35 years of it being in use and just see if there are any changes or ideas that people have. But we wanted to draw from as wide a scope of the community as we could when we're doing that. So that's the program. There is no agenda. There is no one that I'm aware of who is coming into this process with an intent to make any specific change or proposal. They will all be raised and discussed as we go through the whole process. But everyone's participation is welcome, as is yours, and if you remain a little skeptical, that's okay. You can come to the meetings, and we'll continue to talk until we get through the process. But hopefully that addresses some of your concerns, but I'm also happy to talk with you at any time about it. My email and phone number are on the website, and you can get them anytime, and feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any other residents who would like to speak? Hearing none, can we turn to the agenda? And I'd like to turn to General Policy and Finance and Mr. McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Mowry. First item is the ordinance for the tax rate for fiscal year 2015. I move that we approve the ordinance setting the 2015 fiscal year tax rate in the amount of 198 hundredths, 1.98 mils on each $1 of assessed valuation for general municipal purposes, and an additional 34 hundredths, 0.34 mils on each $1 of assessed valuation for the provision of funding to Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company and costs associated with the same.
Second.
There is a motion, a second, that we approve the ordinance setting the 2015 fiscal year tax rate in the amount of 198 100ths, 1.98 mils on each $1 of assessed valuation for general municipal purposes, and an additional 34 hundredths, 0.34 of a mil for each $1 of assessed valuation for the provision of funding the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company and the cost associated with the same. In short, the tax rate will remain the same for 2015. Any discussion from council? Hearing none, Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
McLean?
Yes.
Mowry?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item, item B, is the ordinance for the year 2015 budget. I move that we approve the ordinance enacting the year 2015 budget for the municipality of Bethel Park.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance enacting the year 2015 budget for the municipality of Bethel Park. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Colella.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item C, is the Jordan tax contract. I move that we approve an extension to the current Jordan tax contract through December 31, 2016.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the extension of the current Jordan tax contract through December 31st, 2016. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
O'Brien.
Yes.
Colella.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Item D, change order for the demolition contract for the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company new fire station. I move that we approve change order number 1 in association with the demolition contract for the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company new fire station in the amount of $16,070 to A.W. McNabb, LLC, in association with the project architects correspondence dated November 6, 2014.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve change order number 1 in association with the demolition contract for the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company new fire station in the amount of $16,070 to A.W. McNabb, LLC, in association with the project architects correspondence dated November 6, 2014. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Colella.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons. Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Item E, resolution authorizing transfer of real estate from the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company to the municipality of Bethel Park. I move that we adopt the resolution which authorizes the approval and execution of a real estate transfer agreement authorizing the municipality's purchase of real estate currently owned by the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company for a purchase price of $385,001.
There's a motion and a second that we adopt a resolution which authorizes the approval and execution of a real estate transfer agreement authorizing the municipality's purchase of real estate currently owned by the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company for a purchase price of $385,001. Real quick, this was for the acquisition, some additional properties with the construction of the new fire station, not for the actual fire department property themselves. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Harrison.
I feel compelled to address this issue. First, a little history. As previously stated, I accuse council of being inept in the timing of the vote on the ordinance enacted to place the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company question on the 2013 primary ballot. Council was hell-bent to place the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company question on the 2013 primary ballot, regardless of the law, for a reason or reasons which I am not aware. I noted for the record from this dais before the vote by council that night that the ordinance violated the Home Rule Charter, which I call the Bethel Park Constitution. Because I forewarned council before their vote, their action may have constituted misfeasance. A couple of weeks after the vote, Mr. McTiernan issued an opinion letter that says in legal terms that the Home Rule Charter was violated by council, but in this case the violation was okay. I have consistently referred to this as a Philadelphia lawyer type opinion by Mr. McTiernan. A reasonable person would think that because of the furor this issue caused, a review of all other aspects of the agreement with the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company would immediately be commenced to ensure no other legal entanglements. This clearly was not the case, but no one in this governing body seems to care. A letter dated October 30th, 2014 was issued by Mr. McTiernan addressing the original plan to transfer 7 Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company properties to Bethel Park for a nominal consideration of $1. This letter states that the fire company could convey only 4 of the 7 of its properties for $1. Bethel Park would have to purchase the remaining 3 for a total of $385,000 In addition, transfer taxes and so on have to be paid on all the properties. The total amount for the above consideration is approximately $450,000. It makes one wonder if there's any other considerations that have been overlooked. I'll keep you informed. Thank you.
Mr. Meyer.
Mr. Hannon, real quick, I don't need to address line by line. What he said is I usually say, is simply not true. I think, well, most of us planned for the future. Mr. Harrison lives in the past. And just to correct Mr. Harrison again, I don't believe the solicitor stated the Home Rule Charter was violated. It was all done by law with the instruction of the solicitor. Everything we did, Mr. Harrison was aware of. But once again, he lives in the past while the rest of us plan for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Any other comments from council? Mr. Spagno, please call the roll.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
No.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-1. Mr. McLean.
We have no additional agenda items under general policy and finance.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Mr. Dixon, and we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have 2 items on the agenda tonight. First item is a resolution, acceptance of automated red light enforcement program project funding agreement. I move that we adopt the resolution which authorizes the council president and other appropriate officials to execute the reimbursement agreement associated with the PA Department of Transportation automated red light enforcement program for the traffic signal improvements located at the intersection of South Park Road and Brightwood Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we adopt a resolution which authorizes the council president and other appropriate officials to execute the reimbursement agreement associated with the PA Department of Transportation automated red light enforcement program for the traffic signal improvements located at the intersection of South Park Road and Brightwood Road. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Dixon.
Second item is a resolution, Act 537 Special Study, Pennsylvania Sewage Facilities Act 2014 WWTP Upgrades Project. I move we adopt the resolution authorizing the submittal to the Department of Environmental Protection the Act 537 Special Study Facility Plan as prepared by Wade Trim, Inc., recommending improvements to the sewage treatment facilities.
There's a motion and a second that we adopt the resolution authorizing the submittal to the Department of Environmental Protection the Act 537 Special Study Facility Plan as prepared by Wade Trim, Inc., recommending improvements to the sewage treatment facility. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? 8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Dixon.
Mr. President, we have no other items under planning and zoning.
Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare? And Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. There are no items under health, safety, and welfare this evening.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Any additional items?
Mr. Maury?
Mr. McLean.
Just a quick note. I had a couple of residents contact me recently, and one in particular who wanted me to remind folks about recycling. Both of these folks who called me indicated that they see a lot of their neighbors recycling, but it's also clear that not everybody is recycling, at least on a regular basis. So it's worth mentioning. I think from time to time we make a reminder to folks that we have a recycling program. If you have any questions, you can contact municipality, or there's also information on the website. But we encourage folks to do it and hope you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Any additional items?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. O'Brien.
Today is the Marine Corps' birthday. And you'll see out in the memorial, the red flags of the Marine Corps are flying very strong with the wind. And it reminds me of 2 of our members from our memorial committee that passed, Mr. Bob Bullitt Daly and Leonard Anthony. This was one of their very wonderful days. And tomorrow, as the mayor mentioned, is Veterans Day. And today, council and municipal staff, if you see behind us, is all the service flags of American Armed Services in honor of their service to our country. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Ms. Gibbons?
Item CDBG grant application, Cherry Street Storm Sewer Construction Project. I move we adopt the resolution authorizing the submittal of a community development block grant for the Cherry Street Storm Sewer Construction Project.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we adopt the resolution authorizing the submittal of a community development block grant for Cherry Street Storm Sewer Construction Project. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Colella.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Mr. President, there are no additional agenda items.
Are there any additional items? Hearing none, is there a meeting?
Move we adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.